situation, who can even be a bridge to get us to the other side. But I think when we get to the other side, it'll be the other side of realness.
I think Joe Biden has a chance to be LBJ.
Next LBJ.
Yeah, that's the good thing.
Alive, for real. I don't believe you can be a Democrat and be a Christian at the same time. I just don't believe it.
That's why you better be independent. You can't be a Republican and a Christian at the same time either. Just ask the evangelicals.
What's going on, everybody? This is Lamar, and how many days do we have left till the election? We have less than 20 days until the election. I'm not sure what's going on with my green screen behind me, but you know, let's rock with it. Have a great cast of folks that are going to be on with me today. Let's go ahead and bring them on, and we're going to go ahead and get this party started. This is TFG tonight, by the way. What's going on, Mr. Wade? How's it going, Miss Shahana? How are you?
Good, and yourself?
I am excellent. This election is drawing nearer, and I'm quite excited about that, to be honest with you. I've early voted in Texas, hoping everyone else will as well, and not trust the process of this whole mailing and all that, which you never know how this goes.
In North Carolina.
Did you? Okay, good stuff.
Last Thursday.
I'm apparently not recognized to vote in the state of Florida, so I'm gonna have to absentee vote in Connecticut.
Damn.
My vote would have meant more in Florida, but you know the great intellectuals just can't seem to get right. But you know, it is how it is. So.
It is what it is, right?
So my man said, it is what it is, right?
We get it in.
But I think it's gonna be an interesting election day. But let's get into these topics. What do we have to talk about today? First thing, our Black Party contract. Wait a minute, hold on. We're mixing two of them there. Which one are we talking about? The two of them. Which one are we talking about?
Black Party? Our Black Party or our Black contract?
Let's talk about our Black Party first. Let's go and talk about our Black Party. Our Black Party was proposed, or launched rather, by Sean P. Diddy Combs. Sean P. Diddy Combs feels like due to all the injustices, everything that happened with George Floyd, due to Democrats choosing to not give a damn about Black folk until it's time for elections, for Republicans who really don't really come after Black folk. They just like, we already know where y'all putting y'all vote. So if you come over, great, thank you, appreciate it, but we're not putting any efforts towards no campaign to try to gather none of y'all. The ones that are woke enough in that regard will make the transition. So with all that being said, Diddy has decided that he's going to launch his own party called Our Black Party for Black folks and brown folks, I guess the Hispanics. I have not seen any views, I guess, any specific views as to what they would believe in. So I don't know if they're conservative or if they're liberal. I just know this Black folks. What are you guys' thoughts on this?
So my thought is, right, so basically our Black Party is a collection of folks. You can be Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, all that. What he wants is, the main objective is to get Donald Trump out of office. It's a great initiative. I mean, Puffy's been doing great initiatives like that. I mean, you know, the vote or die when it was John Kerry. Was it John Kerry? Right? It was let's just say last name. Well, when it was Kerry, it was vote or die, and you know, he could, you know, made some money off of the shirts, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And now he's doing with the he did the revolt, like town hall with.
I remember that.
Yeah, so he has a political avenue that he likes to stretch out to, but there are certain things that my hope is that he has the horsepower, but I don't need him to be in the front. He's been in the front all his career, bad boy, all of that stuff, right? But what I need him to do is now I need him to lead from the back and let somebody else lead from the front. Somebody that's more poised on political aspirations. or some not aspiration. I'm sorry, somebody that can speak the political game a little bit more fluently than he can. Because when it comes across with celebrities, they have their voice, they have their voices, they have their platforms, but right now they're not versed on speaking it intellectually. They just speak. Right, and they have the money, they have the horsepower. That's dope. But I need them to do exactly this. I need them to put that money behind somebody else. How did he say? In one of the best movies of all time, The Usual Suspects, Kevin Spacey said, "The greatest trick the devil did was showing the world he didn't exist." Right. So if he actually came behind somebody and showed them and put that horsepower behind them. So, and we'll talk about this later. Same thing with Ice Cube, right? Then all of a sudden, you'll start to see some momentum going. Like, so for example, real quick, Puffy will when the Carolina Panthers were up for sale, he was, I'm gonna buy it and all this other stuff. He's too out there. He's out there for me, right? Like I just need you to. I appreciate what he's done since the '90s, but yeah. Reel it in. Understand that there's a different way. This is a different mindset. They don't want them loud people.
Denzel,
quiet folks. Right.
Denzel in American Gangster. Remember, he said he's too loud.
You're too loud. Right.
He's too loud.
He is the one in the room with the chinchilla.
Right. He's the one sitting in the front.
Absolutely. I agree with. You gotta block that. I agree with what you're saying. What about you, Shahana? What are your thoughts on? Would you be a part of? Or would you subscribe to a black party, our black party?
I wouldn't do anything Diddy's associated with. Let's start with that. Because I feel like, yes, he might have a good concept. It's a little bit too late. A lot of people already started early voting. So you should have been ahead of the curve. You're waiting to the end. We're 14 days away from election. Little too late for me. My thing is, he wants to launch these parties and talk about what everybody else not doing, what everybody doing, but you can't even do right by your own people who you signed. So I can't believe nothing from you when you can't do right from your own people. How you want us to come out and go out and be around and come to your side, and you can't even take care of your side? That's like you out here telling us what to do, what we should do. But you need to do it for yourself. And he doesn't do that for his own self, his own team, his own people. So please don't try to come in my house and tell me what to do when you can't control your own house. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. I'm not a part of anything he has association with.
I look at these comments. Tim says, we definitely need other parties, and history has showed us there is a need today. I don't like celebrities voicing black issues. Okay. Activists need to be in the forefront. What was the next one? Celebrities are mostly advocates, not activists in the trenches. We need someone who is right here with us, speaking with us. I agree with that. I like what Wade said, though. I would lay down with what Wade said. Be the engine. You don't need to be out front. I mean, you need to be out front, but you don't need to be the spokesperson.
Correct.
We don't want you to be.
Partner.
The only entertainer that I'm willing to be a spokesperson for is Killer Mike. Killer Mike has shown that he can articulate and bring in the history to make you go. Like, for example, when that riot happened in Atlanta, right? I sat there and watched Killer Mike for 5 minutes and didn't know it was 5 minutes long, and just was like, "Damn, you done already? Come on, man!"
Right.
And when T.I. spoke, it was just like, "Damn, can you get off stage?" Like, my guy, right? So I believe there are a. I don't care if 50 Cent's endorsing Trump. He's a troll. I don't care about that, right? So nonetheless, right? But yeah, that's celebrities are just they're advocates, right? There are a lot other people that know this stuff. So, for example, I had a conversation with somebody who actually ran and won for the Board of Education in a city in Connecticut. And nonetheless, right? One, did y'all know that some elected positions in small towns are unpaid?
Oh, absolutely. I believe it's like that. Is it like that in DeSoto? I think in DeSoto in Texas, I think that's the case. Are they not? I don't think they're paid. Yeah, when they have about 40,000 population, I believe 30 to 40,000 population.
So my point to this is, right, if Diddy wants to make a great impact, right, so this engine behind, he could say, all right, cool, guys, y'all want to run, listen what we need. We need people to run in your town for the Board of Education. We will create a super PAC, right? We will create a PAC for you, or we will create something of that nature for you, right? To actually make the changes. Because the change is not going to come. I mean, the change is going to come overall in 14 days or X, right? But the change ain't going to come with just that one mission. Because we could put Biden in, and Biden could do whatever Biden does, right? And then the Republicans will go ahead and put somebody else on the forefront. We're having it back to normal. But the point is, if he actually puts that power behind his like money, the money behind the people, the damage could be done. He can make a whole another. He could do way more damage than what he's doing right now.
Yeah, and if he partners with the right, he should partner with Killer Mike, in my opinion.
He doesn't want to share the limelight.
He doesn't, and the thing is, Killer Mike articulates the views and the policies and the movement better than anybody that I've seen. Like, he has it down pat, and he articulates it well. Diddy has a hard time articulating. He can't even nail down specific legislation or anything. He just
correct.
Same thing with Cube. Cube is a little better than Diddy is, because he's been sitting at the table talking to these guys and learning a little bit. But when you see him on those interviews with Jake Tapper and with Roland Martin and all these guys, it's kind of embarrassing to watch, because when they hit him with a question, while he kind of knows the answer, he doesn't know enough of the terminology to even voice it properly. And it's like, it's kind of embarrassing.
Let me tell you what these people remind me of. Y'all ever saw Boondocks? The show, The Boondocks? Remember when they had the episode with President Obama? And the guy, what's his name, Thugnificent, decided he was going to be. He was a rapper, and he decided, you know what? Right now, I'm gonna come out. They asked him. He didn't even know the legislative branches, like things of that nature. But he just knew he was a rapper. He knew he had a black president, and I'm gonna be out here on the front line. And that reminds me of how Diddy and Ice Cube is right now. And I also feel like it's a little bit too late for this. Where were y'all months ago with this?
So we're always a day late, dollar short. So I hear what you're saying, but I'm taking it more so as we can ooze this deeper into the 14 days. And also, to your analogy, this also reminded me of that episode on Insecure where Kelly was acting like she had a British accent, and the dude she was dating that young dude, and so we have two branches of investigation. Like, wow.
I remember that.
Right.
I remember that.
But for Cube, are we going into Cube, or are we still talking about the Black Party?
We're still talking about the Black Party.
All right.
We're about to merge into it.
So, speaking a little bit earlier to Cube, I kind of like what Cube did, though. He followed a Martin Luther King strategy, where he spoke to both sides, right, and understood what both sides were going to say. I'm assuming that he listened. I'm assuming that he took notes. I'm assuming that he took from one side, edited his stuff, said, all right, cool, I learned from this. Other side doing that. Well, he went to Trump first, and they said go to Biden. The point is like he's doing what a lot of us don't do.
Absolutely,
right? He's doing. So I mean, I give him all the praise. I mean, he may not be the most articulate. He actually stood in front of Roland Martin and actually got humbled, right? During that 37-minute interview, 40-minute interview, right? Roland Martin broke it down for him, but there was a point where Roland Martin was about to attack him and said, okay, I see what he was doing. Let me educate him.
I was a little disappointed with Roland Martin with that interview, actually. I didn't like the fact that Roland Martin and the lady that he had on with the Black Votes Count or Black Votes Matter organization, they were trying to put in a light of you can't do nothing. You need to come through the gatekeepers type situation. Did you talk to the Black Caucus? Did you talk with my organization? Almost as though he was skipping the line rather than going through the proper channels of the people that have been on the ground. Because she kept saying, I've been on the ground doing this for 20 years. And Roland kept saying, Congressional Black Caucus says that everything that you're talking about, Congressional Black Caucus has tried to put this in a bill. But I hate when they use those political talking points, because that ain't necessarily true in the way that they're saying it. While all those things might be in a bill, what else is in that bill? What's the bigger part of the bill that the Republicans are not going to go for? So that when they do say no to it, you can say, oh, see, the Republicans, they voted against making Juneteenth a national holiday. But
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I agree and disagree on it. I kind of feel where Roland Martin is coming from. Like, imagine you've been doing something for 20 some odd years, maybe not even 20, I'm gonna say 2 years. And then you've been trying to work towards your goal. And then out of nowhere, somebody come in at the last 5 seconds who has a lot more, they have something, they'll listen to them the last 5 seconds. And it just shuns out every goal that you've been working towards, and they get all the limelight. So I kind of see where he's coming from. Yes, sometimes he don't come the right way, but I kind of get where he's coming from, because when you've been working for something for so long, and then you have somebody at the last second come through. I mean, we all human, so of course you would feel some type of way. I know I would if I'm working on my craft all this time, and somebody pop up the last 5 seconds like, oh well, bam, I got it done. Credit goes to me to get the last 5 years you put in work.
So, okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I guess it depends on what Roland is in it for. Is he in it for the movement, or is he in it for claps?
The moment. So here's how I took that, right? here's how I took that. So to your analogy, right? So 2 parts. Number one, if Cube, all right, so Cube has the horsepower, he has all the documents ready to go. Have y'all ever been a part of something where, like, so for example, you ever spoken to somebody like, hey, and you were doing an after school activity or an after school special, and and some teacher or some parent was like, I didn't know you were teaching kids this. I didn't know, right? So it could have been in the same aspect, because there's a lot of people on that Roland Martin show that I'm like, well, damn, we've been doing that. How many of these do we have? How many of these Black votes matter?
Very true.
Black go run out and vote. Run out. It's like, damn, we got like the same thing, and y'all all speaking the same language. Why can't y'all merge? And then 2, to your point, if I'm Ice Cube and I can get up to them steps faster than you, am I supposed to stop, look back, and go, hold on? Considering the fact where Cube came from, we're not talking about Compton. We're talking about how he went from NWA to his solo career to making movies, right? He's busted down every door he's approached. He's not going to look back and be like, "Hey, blacks, y'all wanna? Can I go in now? No, all right, sorry." He's just going to go in. So that's how the man has not to call him out. It's gonna be a bad example, but like Planet of the Apes, he's that gorilla that just comes through. Yeah, I understand the whole connotation.
I
just finished watching Planet of the Apes, and I could talk to anybody about that.
We can give right now.
Okay,
so Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, we went Planet of the Apes. Planet of the Apes. Anyway, but nonetheless, best movie of all time. But nonetheless,
I get your concept, but
right.
We got
So
to do another one.
Okay, I got another one. So. But he's something that just crashes through the door. So
I agree. Anna, what do you have to say?
Somebody have to let me get a sound bite. I did hear Ice Cube, and yeah, I read a lot, and I really did my researches, but I didn't catch the point coming in.
We were talking about the Ice Cube versus him taking his bills to both parties, Democratic and Republican. And what are your views? Do you agree with it, disagree with it? How do you feel about that?
I agree with it. The thing is the Democratic Party has been kind of low-key taking the black vote for granted. And it's kind of like the little kid, like, yo, dad, that was the way home. I got a shortcut I seen. But he like, you were going along for the ride anyways, it's whatever. What I did read when I actually looked at the situations, because I'm Twitter's going off, Black Twitter's going off, and I'm starting to look like, okay, let me read into it, because sometimes the headline is not the whole story. And
very true.
Basically what happened was, one, it wasn't even Ice Cube at first. It's just like, somebody who knows somebody put a bug in Biden's camp's ear. Somebody put the same bug in Trump's camp's ear. Next, Trump people is hungry. They coming back. What else you got?
Starving.
Versus Biden, like, okay, when we get elected, then we're gonna bring you up to the White House.
Yeah,
we're gonna sit down.
Right.
Y'all heard the early bird catches the worm.
And that right there, that arrogance.
And
That's
Cube is
hubris.
right where one thing we don't ask is what are we going to do as black people? Not know what are we going to do as the minority, because we know minority does not necessarily mean black. It means everybody who's not a white male. So we tired of lumping that in, and Cube says specifically, what's the black contract? And if you can't answer those questions, like for me, I couldn't answer the question my own self, and had me kind of like, well, yeah, what is you doing, Biden, and what is going on with the? But he said the way that they embraced his ideas, it would make you want to say, okay, they're listening. They're trying to at least steal my ideas and put them into implementation versus somebody who's
Right.
brushing me off and saving me for down the road. What did you put me on ice for? Like put me in the freezer for the next time you need something to boost your campaign ratings or to boost your polls, or what is it for? Or to
Yeah.
get a little street cred or something? Because low key, I have been watching the career of Ice Cube, and you watch him go from just the entertainer, where he's supposed to be done entertaining in about 2 to 5 years. That's a rap
Mm-hmm.
career, and that's a rap for your career. But you look at all the entertainments that he's
bar.
brought with his Cube vision, his acting, his like. I sits down when I see something with Ice Cube's name on it or Cube Vision, and now he's low
Yeah.
key.
Yeah.
You know, like even with the Three Ballers brand, all of that
Yeah.
he doing his thing low key,
Yeah.
and now he just steps up in Ice Cube fashion. The
Yes.
only way he can do is just put it to you point blank. And unfortunately, some people are in their feelings like, well, we got to get Trump out. Like, wait, whoa. We in a situation of the lesser of two evils, and I don't even like using that analogy. I like voting for
I
who I
hate
want to
that
vote
analogy,
for,
I hate
not
it
who I
too.
don't want in the White
Because I don't
House.
vote for evil. So
at all. At all. Like, why are we voting for one evil?
no, but you made some excellent points. Trump did, and that's actually funny that you say that, because every black person that has met with Trump has said the same exact thing. They said Trump has listened to me, right? Versus a Democratic person. And I've always said Trump, he has that business acumen, but he just sits there and he does listen. He's a narcissist, but it's like if you go, yes, how can I help you?
Yeah.
Yes, how can I help you? And nonetheless, right? So I don't disagree with Cube on that. What I also find interesting is that, so one of the things that we've yet to do, and I'm not a generalist, but let's just talk generalities as black folks, is we don't have an agenda, right? So every other race can have an agenda. So if I come up to you, if I'm running for president, and I come up to the Native Americans, what do you want me to do for you? Blah 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 blah. Right? We go all the way down to African Americans, and the first thing you tell me is we want you to stop shooting unarmed black people. Not trying to take
I
it down this
don't. I
road.
want you to clear our credit scores and let us start from
All
zero.
right, right. That would be a great reparations for me. You
That's
clear
what
out
I
all
want.
personal debt, all debt, right?
I got my agenda.
Right. But here's the thing:
I'm ready.
you have yours. Adam may have his. I may have mine. Lamar may have his. Right. But it may be 4 different agendas. Right.
True.
We don't have one that we can go up to and say, "All right, cool. This is what it is." And I understand there's so many problems, but nonetheless, we don't have one. Because even when when President Obama was in office, he said the blacks did not have an agenda, and it's like, what are we doing here? Like, who's running this ship, right?
You
And
know
we don't
what's
need a
crazy?
leader, but
Let me jump
It's
in.
like
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
it would be nice if we can get like on the same page. Everybody's like, oh, if we have an agenda, I want reparation. Well, what do you really want? Like, yeah, you want the money, but we should want more than just financial benefit. Like I said before when you first said it, I feel like your credit to me is worth more than a lot of money.
absolutely.
And I feel like if we all had an agenda, like, you know what, you gave the Jews got their thing, everybody got their thing for something. Just start us off with something, either get it right with, because only United States really goes by that credit system. If you think about it, either wipe out credit, start us off high, and we, some people gonna tear it down anyway. We all know, but at least start us somewhere where we can be here and here, because if we all worry about the money, we need to worry about, forget the money sometimes. Let's worry about building wealth. Let's worry about going past just quick dollars.
Well, the contract has a lot more into it other than just the wealth. They have the whole thing about loans and things, the ability to get loans and things of that nature, even loans that are interest free. So all those things I think will definitely help with gaining wealth. Forgive me, guys. My I'm having studio issues tonight. My whole green
It's
screen
cool.
tripping out
We
on
held
this.
it down, boss man.
Y'all
Exactly.
I'm like, what is going on?
We still
Like
here.
how go?
I'm
Like
not
how
used
y'all
to
get the
holding this
show without
phone.
me?
I'm not used to holding the phone. I gotta hold it. Okay, but
Oh man.
Why you
yeah,
against your? Why you against that white ward, man? Like you taking a prison shot or
I
something?
don't know. I'm like, I don't know what to get behind me. I don't know if should I put the window behind me. I don't know. It's different.
Oh yeah, do the window.
It's different than what I'm used
From
to.
the windows to the wall.
Yeah, what's that green thing behind you in that window?
That's the green screen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the green screen reflection.
Oh,
So y'all
okay,
seeing
okay.
all the behind the scenes stuff. But yes, we get it. All right, we keep it real on here. Tam
All
said
right.
that isn't wealth for me. I'll take the cash. Yeah, and that's the thing about only thing about credit is you have to create debt to have good credit to have credit.
Very
Basically,
right, correct.
You know
Unfortunately,
what's crazy, Lamar? So when I went to school on a scholarship. So I didn't have a loan starting out.
Humble brag.
So I didn't realize how much I needed credit to build things. They told me when I first tried to apply for different things, it would be better if I had bad credit versus none. And I'm like, well, how am I going to thinking as I was able to get a credit union? But however, it's kind of hard when you don't really have any type of credit. So I did not know that, and a lot of people don't know that.
So I look at credit like a financial GPA, right? So it is hard as hell to keep a 4.0. But it is easier to
Say it again.
But it is hard as hell to keep a 4.0.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You miss one payment and you miss a jerk person and they put it on your credit score. Versus you can build up from that 2.5 all the way into that 3.5.
Yeah.
Right?
If they give us the right amount of money for reparations, then we could be debt free and pay cash for what we want and continue building wealth rather than creating debt. They just have to do it the right way. And so it's just kind of frustrating because they act as though they can't come up with a way to do this properly. But hopefully we're moving closer to it.
How about we get more grants than loans?
That's another thing.
That's another thing. I don't care if it's interest free or not. Give me a grant.
That's another thing. And what's interesting though, we have enough wealth in the black community to do that ourselves, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I love the idea of Killer Mike creating the bank. He just launched a bank. It's an online bank.
Oh, I'm in line.
I'm excited about that.
Account.
I do have some questions about it, of course. I don't see how you can have a true financial institution and not go by the regular regulations that everybody else goes by. Of course, you can cut out the whole discrimination piece, but I think credit is still going to be a factor, and your ability to pay back a loan and all that is going to possibly still be a factor.
But remember, Andrew Yang is on that committee, right? And Andrew Yang knows how money works, how money flows through the system. So that's why it's like, to me, it's Amazon before Amazon started. Right, and it's like, okay, so before we all thought we were gonna have them big ass TVs, right, with the hump in the back. Then all of a sudden, the big back TVs. Then all of a sudden, plasma came out. And we were like, whoa, that's way better. Before you go to somebody's house, they had all the stuff, all the furniture in the world. You go to other people's houses now, minimalist, open air system, right? So now I'm just looking at it like that, and I'm just like, wow, this is. So I like it. So
I like it. I love the idea. I'm going to utilize it as well. I'm just curious. I just hope they don't sell the dream. I hope we don't have a whole bunch of folks running in there thinking that, if I can apply, even though I got a 420 credit score, and I
that's what you will not do.
Payday loan that I ain't paid.
That's what we will not do.
We're gonna get the hookup.
But here's another thing that I noticed too, right? That I was telling people this as well. When Trump, we did not utilize Trump in the 4 years he was in office. What I mean by that is, we see a guy who basically says his letter for success is the stock market. Okay. So in 4 years, we're sitting there talking about the morality of this dude. We knew who he was before he got into office. So we should have been like, for 4 years, like, okay, he's talking about stock markets.
Listen,
let me learn about this.
I made my money.
I
made mine.
People, it was a time, man, we were watching like a hawk. Here in this house, we watch the stock market. We watch not only the stock market, we watch cryptocurrency.
I'm about to say cryptocurrency.
Man, I fell off on that crypto.
Man,
Because wasn't it during this 4-year term that Bitcoin all of a sudden was like the biggest thing? And everybody was like, whoa, Bitcoin.
But the thing is people don't want to learn new things. Like we knew what he was about. He's a businessman. He's not a politician. He's about putting money in his friends' pockets. So that it's Wall Street. Come on.
Man,
So
you want to know something?
He gave us the formula. Go for it.
You want to know something? As crazy it was, the last election cycle, when I heard him say something like America first,
right, Tam,
my ears kind of perked up. Like what you said, like he was talking about trading versus, we're importing way more than we're exporting. And he was talking about money. Like he was just cutting to numbers. He's a numbers guy. That's what he does.
Yeah.
And for me, like, let me go back a little further. When I got out of college, they told me my debt to income ratio was out of balance. So I couldn't take my business learnings and actually apply for a loan to get my business started. So I did it cash. So you telling me now with this guy in office and he's more on entrepreneurship and business, I was looking at how all the tax cuts and things, it's all about making dollars. Can we make bread together? And I'm like, well, let me, put my little spurs on and hop into the plane, get up there with them. But those specific things, cryptocurrency, I looked at, stock market, paid attention to it. When it came to the business part of it, it was more like anybody who's making money, he was like, hey, we're going to make this money. You're going to get this money, make this money. But if you wasn't making any money, you're domestic work, you're somebody who's the 9 and 5er, that wasn't your president.
Are we allowed to say this stuff? Like for what sister just said, when he first came into office, remember, if a black person met with him, they got destroyed. And that's interesting. Are we allowed to?
Steve Harvey's, everybody.
We're not allowed to say this stuff.
Black preachers.
Lots of benefits. Lots of financial benefits. However, I'm about to let you go, Hannah. However, there's the other party. While I'm gonna vote for Biden, I gotta say that for black folk castigate me for saying there's some good things that came with Trump or Republican rather being in office. Which that's my fiscally, that's what I go for. Anyway, but Democrats will tell you that don't listen to all that. Forget the whole stock market. Black folks aren't invested in the stock market. Poor people not invested in the stock market. His friends are invested in the stock market. He's only looking out for his friends. Where if we would regular people would get on board with learning this stuff. Wealth comes from investing. It don't come from getting some more Walmart jobs and making $12 an hour, which the Democrats will push more jobs. But anyway, I'm not gonna get on my bend on that. I do that on a political show.
Man, you know what? Sometimes it's monkey see, monkey do, where a lot of people are cash apping like crazy. Cash app me, cash app birthday, cash app. One day I was just looking on the Cash App itself, and I seen the little squiggly stock thing. I'm like, well, what's this? I started looking at it. In it had to be about Mayish sometime. I listened to a different number of podcasts and shows, and one of them was talking about the first bankruptcy casual, Whiting Petroleum. And so, I went on my little Cash App thing and looked at the stock ticker. It was down to like 31 cents, 34 cents.
Penny stocks do something for you.
It at an all-time high, it was up to like 300 something per stock. Before the crash, when everything came down, it was about 25, 26. And I read the article. It said they went into bankruptcy just to restructure their debts to come out stronger.
Southwest did that one.
A lot of people.
And I'm sitting there like, wait, come out stronger. And I looked at the stock, 34 cents. And again, the next article that came out was the New York Stock Exchange basically telling them you got 30 days to get to at least $1.
Yeah.
Now, me and my thinking like, okay, they're going to try to get to that $1 in 30 days. It's 30 cents. The mathematical started going off. So I put a couple hundred on it.
Yeah.
And then
you have nothing.
You got nothing to lose.
But listen, in less than a week, it was back above $1, like $1.86, and those stock. I done made like $1,000 in less than a week just from grabbing
money,
a couple cents a dollar. But it's on the Cash App where all the poor people are sending $20 and $15. It's actually in your face. You know what I'm saying? So I made good on that deal because I doubled down, got some more into it before it took back off. But
No, that's a good
you try
point.
to tell people, like I tell my pops, I'm on the stock options. He don't want to hear that. My sister, she'll try it next Friday when she get paid. But
Look,
some of our people have to be intentional in investing in their future.
so
It's
look, a
not
lot.
necessarily the
Crazy.
government. It's just what you're doing.
A lot
Yeah.
of people, we grow up and our people can be very superstitious. We've known this. It's nothing new. And it's
Right,
like
Tam.
they'll trust anything but something that'll benefit them. Because
Right.
I agree with it. I didn't even know about the Cash App because I didn't have Cash App. My son, he asked me to send him money for a game on Fortnite. So I downloaded the Cash App. And that's how I saw, and I saw the stocks, and I was like, oh, well, I shop here. I know
Yep.
how much I spend. I know how people
Yeah.
spend when I'm spending because I love shoes. So I'm like, I'm going to invest in this.
Yeah.
And you can invest for a little as, not saying use the dollar, but you can invest a little as $1. Like that coffee you're buying,
Yeah.
the juice you buying, that last thing you feel like you need. You can buy more of that last item you need if you just took a little bit of that percentage and invested. Like I had moved out when I was 18 because I've always, when I worked since 16, every check I saved every single thing. I've always been like that since I was younger.
Yeah.
I made sure my money, I don't care how much shoes I like to, I always love shoes. I wanted to buy, I knew every check I was going to take $50 out, and it was small. I was only 16. But I knew every check I was going to take $50 out because I was moving out. And you can't start with 20, 30, 40, but just start $1 a day.
Yeah.
Just put it away.
And we're going to just
So real quick, I'm sorry, Lamar.
No, you
so
go ahead.
just high level, right? So for those black folks that want to cancel, whatever. Number one, you can start a Robinhood account.
Yep.
Throwing $25, $50 in there.
Robinhood, that's what I use.
Right, and then just
Lamar put me on.
We will give you free stocks.
Right, and then go right there with the penny stocks or whatever the case could be.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy a whole stock, right?
buy one.
Like you can buy
a
one,
share on
or you
it.
can buy $5 of a stock, a share of a stock.
Yep.
And watch how that goes, right? And then here's the biggest thing, right? When your money's sitting down, your APRs, right? So you're checking in your savings account. Look at your APR, right? So you got 0.3%. So basically, 0.3% is not going to make a lot of money, but let's say that you just forget about it. You have one account, you put money in that, you direct deposit like $25, $30 in there, and just totally forget about it. I guarantee that account that you forget about, you're like, oh, that made money for me.
Yep. Tam be on it with these savings account APRs. She be letting me know, hey babe, they got interest rate is this on this account. And I'm like,
let it go.
Right. So she be putting money in all kind of accounts, boy. So she be on it
Yeah,
on
you
that.
gotta have more than one account.
Yeah, you have to be willing to learn. One thing we're doing, and I love Tam for this, she's really making sure our kids are learning this stuff. They have their own accounts, the savings account. They have thousands of dollars in their savings. Like our kids know about investing, know about saving, they know about all this stuff, and they're learning it. And the only way we can change our generation is by teaching this stuff to our kids, because some people that are our age and older, they feel like they just not gonna do it. They just not gonna do it. Tam said McDonald's stock was $26 in 2002 when I graduated high school. Today it's $226 a share. See, if my parents would have known that and would have been
but Cash App you can invest in and starting $1.
We've been rich right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Man.
And as far as stock, I took an inventory of everything that I use, because I do media, my computers, the software, the games my kids play, Disney Plus, they coming out with new stream. Everything that I can name that I buy, especially got subscriptions to, I bought stock in that. Like y'all gonna give me my money back. You know what I'm saying?
It's smart stuff.
And over the course of years, people don't understand that as long as you own the stock, especially the better ones, actually pay you dividends. Like every so often, every 3 months, you just look up like, oh, okay, they made their little deposit, and they just get in line making their deposits. Pretty soon that adds up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And as we segue into 50 Cent. Y'all didn't talk about that.
Curtis
50 Cent Jackson has endorsed Trump via Instagram, I believe. So basically, the reason for this, and I can't even say for sure that he's serious. I think he's just trying to get some attention, but I just don't see him going so far as to truly being serious about it because of all the people he connected to on power. He got some people that are really black power type people helping run that. Anyway, but he probably don't care. So basically, Biden has come out with his tax plan that's gonna cause people in California and New York to have a overall tax rate of about 62% of their income.
Yeah. Well, no, if you're making a certain amount of money though,
over 400, if you make over $400,000 a year,
over 400,000,
taking more than half.
Over half if you make over 400,000.
He taking more than half.
So 50 Cent said, literally verbatim, he said, "F that, I'm voting for Trump."
Yeah.
so a lot. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of other rich people that feel the same way.
Yeah.
I honestly, which is why I'm a fiscal conservative, I don't want to ever be in a point where I don't support that. I don't support those type of tax rates for the rich because I hope to be rich one day, and I don't want to be spending over working myself from where I'm at now, and all of a sudden get to a place where I'm making $400,000 a year, and all of a sudden I got to give 62% of it, or even half of it, or even 40%. Like, hey. Which is why, I think everybody knows I don't believe in the way the tax system is set up. I believe in a flat tax, which that'll never pass. But I just don't think it's fair. I don't believe the democratic notion of taxing the rich to pay for all these programs they want to create for the poor, and then lowering the taxes or keeping the taxes the same for the people that make less. I don't believe in that.
Y'all got to bring Herman Cain back, man. Just yell 999 for everybody. 1010 is somebody.
I'm feeling that now.
I was loving that. Because, man, my first M, you going to take 620 grand? No.
But you know what, though? I don't agree with it whatsoever, especially the amount of income you make. I don't agree with the tax rules. However, I also feel like we asked him what he's going to do for the less fortunate. What is he going to do for people who can't make it? He's trying to find a loophole because really, it's really no damn money. Darn, sorry, Lamar. No darn. No daggone money out here. Like, where is he really supposed to get the money from to actually do? We already owe way more money than we have. And I feel like it's not a good plan, but he's trying to make a plan.
I don't see the national debt as, I know a lot of people look at the national debt as a big old deal, but is China and all these people ever really gonna try to recoup this cash, like to the point to where give me this 60 trillion right now, or else this, that, and other. They never.
Once you done made $14,000 on the Monopoly game, you just don't even care, man.
Right. They not
give me the $2 and you can go. Give me the $2 and you can go to you get 200.
You never getting that 20.
Yeah, so it's like they can keep increasing the national debt all they want. Listen, they printing money. When they need to give us this stimulus money, they pull it out their tail. They got $1 trillion bill sitting in the house right now. Like
this Monopoly, baby.
Not $1 million, not $1 billion, but $1 trillion bill. Where does money come from? We ain't got no $1 trillion. Yes, they do. Obviously, they do. They just print it up. And obviously,
out of nowhere.
Come on. So
what do y'all think he should do then to get this money?
Pass a bill and pull it out their tail like they don't own this $1 trillion.
Yeah.
But that hasn't been working in the past.
I think that if you're gonna create, whatever you need money for, whatever you propose that's gonna cost money, you need to raise taxes proportionately. I don't think that you should disproportionately raise it for other people. I truly feel like if you increase the corporate tax too much, whereas Republicans like lowering the corporate tax or keeping it the same.
Company to Ireland.
They want to lower it or keep it the same to entice more business owners, to entice corporations to come to the United States and keep business here rather than go abroad. But
Mexico.
Democrats want to increase the corporate tax rate. How do you think they're going? A corporation, no matter what you say, they don't worry about these whole morality things. I want to make $200 billion in 2021. And guess what? We're going to make it, whether we got to lay people off or whatever. So you raise our corporate tax, we're going to lay folks off. We're going to cut time. Something, products and services going to go up.
Yeah.
We're going to make our marks. No matter what you say, we're going to make it. So the Democrats doing this raising the tax thing, I feel like they just hurting everybody else.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
But I always,
They from every angle.
But it's not like I don't mind taxes being raised if you're telling me where my tax money is going to. If you're saying I'm raising it by 1%, all right, fine. If everybody's gonna raise it by 1%, where's the money going to? Like they always, they love talking about, oh, we're gonna only tax the 1%ers. All right, I'm not a 1%er, right? Yet, right? But nonetheless, right?
Yeah,
Yet.
I like that.
But nonetheless, right? Like if I made all this money, you gonna tax me?
Right,
For what?
62%
For what?
For what?
For what?
To trickle down. This ain't Robin Hood, bro.
And see,
Like,
you know what? Another thing
But is
a
it
lot of
coming to the
people with
hood?
money don't realize is that if I'm a professional athlete and I made $1 million and now I got to take 60, you forgot my manager is waiting, my business manager, my house note, my car. By the time I get done, I'm back where I started.
So now
It's
I gotta
not-
take,
yeah.
gotta take advantage of loopholes and deductions as
And
much as I can.
And don't NBA players don't they get taxed because of every city they work in?
Ooh,
So they
I
get
don't
taxed.
know.
I don't know.
Oh, that's crazy.
Right.
I
So
know.
every time they travel, 42 games out of an 81 game season,
Ooh,
right?
that's crazy.
I heard that because it's considered like if you go to Milwaukee, you worked in Milwaukee. You go to Houston, you worked in Houston. It's a job. The NBA is a job. We just don't look
It's
at
a
it like that because we didn't get
multinational
paid for it.
So as
They
right.
need to have a union, so they need to.
They do have a
They
union.
do.
So
as
if you have a union, if you work in other states, they don't tax you in the union.
I don't know.
Because I
So
worked
we
in
need
a
to get a-
union job. I
hey,
lived in Philly, but I worked
I'm
in
gonna
New
get
York.
on my doobie
As a
dads, get on the
consequence,
Googles.
as a consequence, 50 Cent is endorsing Trump because he doesn't want to pay a 62%
He's
tax
full of
in
crap.
New York. He's
Man,
not
that's
too happy about that.
he just wanted to
He's
make
not
headlines.
endorsing.
You just want to make headlines, man. Like,
I
like
don't even think he's going to vote.
I doubt it.
can he vote?
I don't even know.
Right, can he?
might not
He's a former felon, right?
Can he vote? Can T.I.
You
vote?
know New York stingy with
T.I.
them.
can't vote.
A lot of people talking they can't even vote.
Yeah,
T.I. can't
stingy
vote.
with them
Yeah,
prisoners'
like y'all
voting
stop,
rights.
man, y'all
Yeah.
listen.
Right.
What's the next thing? We forget 50 Cent.
Like y'all right, y'all talking about.
You're talking about somebody that can't vote, man. It's like,
So T.D. Jakes can vote.
Oh
So
yeah.
T.D. Jakes did an interview with TBN, and they asked him about Black Lives Matter, and they asked him his opinion on it. In his opinion, he stated that lots of Black Christians, particularly, can't get with a lot of what Black Lives Matter believes, being all inclusive, LGBTQ and all that stuff. So they look for a reason, or they found reasons to opt out. No matter how little or no matter how big, they opt out and they're not as involved as they could be. This is T.D. Jakes' point of view. So they asked him, so what should they do? T.D. Jakes suggested, what if someone came up with a counter to the regular BLM movement, more of a conservative branch, if you will, or a conservative movement akin to BLM that
Black
holds
Party.
their values?
our Black Party.
Nah.
But nah.
What are y'all thoughts?
Nah. No, I'm gonna say it like this. When Black Lives Matter first came out, I remember going to the website and it was on some, we're destroying the family unit, the whatever. I'm like, wait a minute, man. I got a wife and kids. Wait a minute, what are you talking about? I'm the black guy who goes to work, got businesses. I'm doing the right thing. Wait a minute, what you trying to destroy here? And I've looked, recently you go back, now the rhetoric is more like generalized, is calmed down.
Much better.
Actually doing the conservative, where this Black Lives Matter movement is doing more harm than just appealing to the cause to amend some of the rhetorics. Like, I do see that there is the LGBT community that are in there, and the crazy part is we haven't finished the Black Lives Matter movement. It started before gay and lesbians could get married, and that's already gone through federal, and still Trayvon Martin, I'm actually living in Orlando now, but still Trayvon Martin and the justice that goes along with that whole movement that started is still here. My children, like my son, he graduated from high school. He was a little dude, like elementary, when this all started. And the one thing about it is this is how I feel, where I'm not sure, I'm going to throw this in there, but if you've seen Saturday Night Live, Bill Burr, he actually killed this point where I was hollering, laughing like crazy, where he said, you know, the white female took her Gucci or Louis Vuitton boot and stepped it over the line of oppression and got front line with it. Like, wait a minute. It's now starting to feel like there's compounding things onto it. Like, wait, that wasn't the specific cause, even though you can participate. Don't bring it to the forefront. Let's focus on the police brutality. Yeah. Let's focus on the equality in our policing. That's where we started. But now we have the situation where other things, you know, you come marching and everything, but like, listen, we need to amend what the movement's focus is for, because everybody's starting to bring their own stuff, and it takes people to say, well, I'm going to sit on this side of the bus and I'm going to sit on this side where I thought we was all in the same vehicle going the same direction. Despite our sexual orientations, our own single walks of life, it was the skin color that goes before us and is unjustly shot down in the streets and unarmed, and our women are beaten and things like we are not U.S. citizens. Yeah.
Right. And that's very well said. Not honestly.
Much so.
I honestly thought that when Black Lives Matter started, it was just stop the killing of unarmed black men. Right. Yep. Let's have equality there. Let us police reform before police reform became a word, right, or a term, right? You know, something like that. Well, there's that one focus. Then this thing became into a whole, I don't know, branch off. But and what it is it has distracted from the movement, which is so upsetting, right? Mm-hmm. And honestly, just it's gotten to the point where we focus so much on BLM and everybody's like Black Lives Matter. It was a statement. Like, it was a statement of Black Lives Matter. Then it became All Lives Matter. Then it became Blue Lives Matter, which is the dumbest thing ever, right? Then it became like...
So we already got those conservative off branches of whatever they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Correct. So what's really upsetting is, you know what, upsetting is such a strong term. I'm not even upset about it. What's really just disappointing in America, it's just disappointing in humans, right, is the fact that they choose not to listen. It's not a hard concept, right? It's 2 + 2 = 4. Unarmed black men. Stop trying to figure out what they said, what they did, who they said, what they before a gun was taken out, right? Well, and just understand. So
I gotta be trained to keep my cool at traffic stops. When he went to an academy, I believe you had to graduate the academy for these situations, and you nervous and fearing for your life at a traffic stop. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't compute. Which one of us went to training?
It's so hard being a black man, and I have nothing to do with just being a black woman. It's just a hard thing to do, right? To where you turn on the television, and you're like, oh, another one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, here we go with 2 weeks of hashtagging.
Well, it's even crazier because as a male in general, you're taught that if, you know, we play football, you get hit, you get cracked, you get up, suck it up, walk it off. So you get a bad police stop, get up, suck it up, walk it off. You know, even with females, you know, if there's an issue, you know, you got girlfriends, you know, they come to you know, y'all can talk about it. But as the male compartment to that, it's more like we're expected to take more and to shut up and just go and do whatever we're supposed to be doing. And I've had situations where there's police officers rough and everything, run my license, and they come back, no criminal record, Wow. And then he comes back and talk, and, you know, see, you know, I'm a family man, I'm a businessman, I might be dressed up, getting ready to go to my office or something. And he'll say something like, well, you're one of the good ones. Well, I'm glad you found out before you shot me in the back and without my gun. You know what I mean?
So that's...
So one of the good ones is the one. So one of the good ones that I actually
about the whole movement thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about what bothers me about people with the Black Lives Movement when they try to come in. Y'all had PETA. Nobody come at PETA. Oh, eat meat and everything. They don't show up at the rallies with some steak and hamburger.
Yeah, running around in meat dresses.
You don't see people showing up. Oh, married, heterosexual. It's like when it becomes black. One example. People say black love. People got so offended for one thing. All they said was not saying that other love isn't But
Yeah.
the one little thing,
Yeah.
oh, black love.
Yeah.
Oh, what about all love? Everybody should be. It's like when we add black into one thing,
Oh yeah.
everyone wants
Yeah.
to come with their side. But
Yeah.
y'all don't do that to no other cause. Like, why do us as black people have to intimidate you to the fact that you gotta just throw your hat in the ring?
We can't have
No,
that.
it does not
Yeah.
work
We
like
can't
that.
have that.
Because black love sounds so. Anything with the word black in it sounds so
So
cool.
Yeah, and-
smooth
it does.
with
Yeah,
it.
They
we got
gotta
that
be a part of
smooth,
it.
right?
You're not invited to the party.
And we got to be
Well-
bold. I think we have
outside.
to all be bold enough to be like, yeah, the black love. Like me personally, I can't speak for everybody, but me personally, I don't care as much about the other causes as I do the black causes. I don't
I
because
don't either.
we're coming from a
Right.
long line, lot of years of oppression, a lot of years of the broken home of the black family. So we got work to do. So let us
Yeah.
do our work. Don't try to obstruct our work. Let us do our work. If we have to uplift and motivate ourselves by creating a hashtag and saying black
Let us
love, black
do it.
life, what have you, so be it. I don't care about the LGBTQ.
Yeah.
I don't care about it as much as black. While I care about it, because I care about human rights. I don't care about it as much as I care about black rights. As far as anything else,
Yeah.
I care about
That's family
black
You
rights.
know,
business.
animals
That's
have
what that
more
is.
respect than black rights.
Yeah, Michael Vick.
Yeah. Yeah.
All day, right?
Animals
Yeah.
have more respect than us.
Yep, I can.
The
And I can
same,
give
the
a crap
same
about
person
Peter.
the same person that will cuss me out because of the color of my skin will cry if a dog get hit in the street. Like, man, what?
Right, like Michael Vick still can't be forgiven for what Michael Vick
Right.
did.
yeah,
Stigmatized still.
yeah.
Stigmatized. And he went to prison.
Paid his
for
debt
this.
to society.
For a dog.
But they
For-
can have tigers in cages.
And I remember, and you know,
Right, and
dogs
we had a
come-
Netflix show about that, right?
Dogs have come so much further than black folk have. Listen, remember
Yeah,
when
yeah.
dogs used to stay outside with the
Yeah.
chain around their neck without a
Oh,
leash?
you
Yeah.
you gonna get a
lived
ticket, man.
outside. You
You
go
gonna
out
get
of
a
town
ticket.
on
They find
vacation
you
and your
here.
dogs stay home. They come a long way.
They
We
better
got a
be
long
in
way to
your
go.
house.
Animals
You
have come a
know,
long way.
Animals have. Maybe they went to the. I don't know. Maybe
They're
they
in
got their own
strollers
party.
now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe they got their own party.
Why
They
is
just
dog in
talking
a
to
stroller?
each other.
Wasn't no dogs in the house when I was a kid. There was no such thing. So
Nah.
right. Perhaps.
they
In
on
the
the
house.
plane, they in the
Dog
store,
sleeping on the bed. Dog like out of
They eat out of
here.
crystal.
they sitting at the
Look.
restaurant. Like, man,
You get
come
your
on.
food. You
Yes,
might
they're
have.
at
They
the-
might have a dog
Somebody
house.
pushed their
Maybe.
dog in Target the other day in
Yeah.
the cart. Like, why is your dog in a Target cart?
Nope, they get tied around the
Why
tree.
just dog in the-
Yeah.
Got the-
And that-
so, but yeah. So let's move on to the last topic. We got 3 minutes. We're gonna knock it out. It's very, very quick. I'm just curious of what y'all's thoughts are on this whole Magic Johnson, Janet Jackson kiss thing. There's been a viral picture going around with him kissing Janet Jackson when she was 16 years old. And he was 24 years old. Is this another R. Kelly type situation,
Yes.
or is it an innocent situation?
A 24-year-old man should not be that close to a 16-year-old girl.
16-year-old
You
child.
know what?
No matter what she does later, because a year later she went off to go elope to her first marriage. But this, nah, man, we don't do that. in that.
I'm not defending him at all, but I mean, if you look at how society has come along, we know better, we're doing better. But back then, that might have been something harmless, nothing crazy. But now Robert is in jail. Okay, we finally figured it out. Robert not supposed to play with the kids, put him in jail. But back then, those kind of situations, like I even know, like in my grandmother's time, where people were getting married at 12 and 13, and
This was in 84.
10 years
Listen,
along.
that was
You know what I mean?
before then.
82, something like that.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
before then.
yeah.
But I always remember,
he been with Cookie so long.
Robinson
see
jail
it.
because of his
Tell you
own
one thing.
hubris.
Yeah.
I have a daughter, and I
Yeah.
damn, excuse my language. If I see something, and she's 16, and a
Yeah.
24-year-old man lip is on her,
Yeah.
not
problem.
at all unacceptable. Like we gotta,
Yeah.
I can't justify knowing as a parent.
Mhm.
And me growing up as a daughter, first of all, I couldn't even wear lip gloss at 16. Like my parents was super strict. So,
Try to be
I
fast.
feel like I understand you in the limelight, you weren't that, but if we locking other people up and we're mad about, that's like saying the family perv. If they kiss the younger person in the family, it's okay because
Right.
no, it doesn't
No.
work like that. It's
Yeah.
wrong.
So here's the
Robert-
thing, right?
Robert
So
gotta go to jail.
I went to Whole Foods, and this young lady who was 22 years old was talking to a 34-year-old boy, right? And I'm not even a man, a 34-year-old boy, right? And I asked, I said, why are you talking to this man? Because I said, in reality, you're literally 1 year old, right? Because I said, you're 22 years old, 20, so you're only one in reality, right? The only things in this world you can do, only thing you can't do is rent a car. So what exactly are you doing? What are you learning from this case, right? And I'm like, this is just sick, right? And
Yeah.
I'm like, and to me, it's probably the way that she was raised in her household. Not to sound that judgmental, I too have a daughter, right, who is 3, and I realized the importance of being in her life, right? I'm her first love, her only love. So I mean, hell.
Absolutely. Well, I thought that was rather odd.
Yes, it is. No, don't get it twisted. That is odd.
Right. That is odd.
Rather odd. Makes you
But
wonder.
I don't think he's a Robert. He's not a
I
Robert.
don't know. You don't know because I
That we don't know about. We didn't know Robert.
Right, we don't know about. Right.
I couldn't see myself kissing no 16-year-old kid and being in public thinking it's okay.
Yeah.
In the lip.
Not just one kiss though. He was all down the throat.
Oh, I just can't see it.
Oh, yeah, I can't.
I didn't make an out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the
it wasn't
picture.
like no little kiss on the cheek. It was like full-fledged in there.
I'm about to make all kind of Medea faces over here.
Y'all have to see that. But
I take your word for
it. Was that before or after?
What?
His NBA career.
He was 20. He was 24. Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Before Cookie.
Before Cookie, man.
All right. Well, my final thoughts. It'll be brief. I'll just do it. We talked about a lot of stuff on here. I think this was a very good episode. We did some educating on financials and investing and things of that nature. Yeah. Talked a little bit about the idiocy of 50 Cent and his reasoning. Well, his reasoning is okay. I just feel like it's
got to move to Wyoming. That's
it's
all.
It's just very important not to vote Trump this season, in my opinion. But we talked about a lot of things, and we thank you guys for tuning in. And we wish you would go ahead and watch it again and comment and subscribe to the YouTube. Yeah. And as always, the panel, you guys are awesome, and you always contribute amazing stuff to the show. And I ask that you will come back as always. And that's all we have for TFG tonight.
Good night.
Thanks for having me again.
Go vote. Go vote. Go vote if you're able to right now. Go vote.